So here we go with some turkey necks. My daughter requested some turkey necks. So what you see me doing here is pouring some vinegar and adding some salt to the water. I like to have my stuff prepped before I start cooking so I'm not splashing stuff all over the place. These are the turkey necks that I picked up from my local public store. And right here, what I am doing is I am cutting all that loose fat and getting all that other stuff and trying to get as much of that slime and stuff off of these turkey necks as I can. Carefully going through them one by one with some gloves on. Like I mentioned before, I do not want all that stuff on my hands. And then again, I try not touching a lot of stuff in my area while I'm cleaning meat. That is one thing that I cannot emphasize enough, that I love to the best of my ability to keep my area clean. And so, yeah. What am I doing right here? For some reason, I'm not sure, but I took my gloves off. I had to do something, and here I am back cleaning those turkey necks. Again, just carefully going through them one by one, making sure they're submerged in that water. I realized as I was cleaning this, I could have really used a bigger bowl. I did not. I chose to still keep them in that bowl. And I had gotten these, I think I mentioned already, from Publix. For the most part, Publix turkey necks weren't really bad. There's a couple other stores that I usually get them from, but I find that they're too big. You know, some people prefer larger pieces of meat, but I don't like the real big pieces of meat. I prefer the smaller pieces. I think they cook better and all that, but to each his own. And as you see here, once again, I'm really trying to get all that stuff off of them. And that bowl is irritating me. I really should have used a larger bowl. What you won't see in this video too is I came back and I kind of rotated them in the bowl at some point during the sitting process, because that bowl just was not big enough. But they sat in that bowl, I want to say, for about 20 minutes or so in that vinegar and water, because I want to make sure I got as much of that slime and stuff off as possible. Taking off my gloves, putting my stuff in the trash. And while they were sitting over there marinating, I was chopping up my seasonings. And today, the seasonings that I had on hand was some celery. And I like to chop my seasonings fine. That's going to be preference specific. I don't like my seasonings cut really big because I don't particularly care for biting into big chunks of seasoning. When I cook, for the most part, depending on what I cook. Now, certain dishes, like certain Asian dishes, I don't mind if the seasonings are a little bit bigger, but for the most part, I do not care for my seasonings to be cut extremely huge. And it looks like I used about 3 stalks of celery right here. So again, like I say, I was getting those cut up real fine. Girl, I could have sped this video up right here, but I didn't. Okay, and here I am going on to the green bell pepper, which is part of the Holy Trinity, just like with the celery. I like for the seasoning to be cut up pretty fine, no big pieces here. And I think the next thing that I am going to grab, I can't remember, should be coming up soon, either the green onion or the onion, because I realized that I had a few pieces of green onion in a Ziploc bag from where I had cooked a couple nights ago. So I did not want it to go bad. That's one thing about me. When I'm cooking, I'm going to use the seasonings on hand. And sometimes I may use seasonings that are not necessarily traditional to a dish. But that is the beauty of cooking as well. You can make your dish whatever you want it to be. You can build your flavors and never be afraid to try something different. You know, that's how recipes come about. It's just people trying different things and spices and flavors. So I don't know how long I'm going to go on cutting up this bell pepper. This is crazy. Okay, here we go. So the next thing I grabbed, my apologies, was the white onion. Again, you know, cutting it into small, fine pieces. And I did not use the whole onion. I only used about a quarter of it. Here are the few pieces of green onion that I had. I was not about to let that thing go to waste. I'm rolling and slicing that lime because, as you see right here, that's the lime that I used to go back through the turkey necks. And so I had already poured the water off, and I'm taking each turkey neck and going through it with that lime to make sure that they are really clean. Again, if you don't like cleaning your meat, don't. That choice is totally yours. I let them strain to get a lot of that water off. And right there, I added some avocado oil. Not a whole lot. Again, this bowl was way too small. I was adding that avocado oil to make sure that the seasoning adheres to them. At this point, I got so frustrated with this bowl, but I started seasoning it, and I think seasoning was going everywhere. And that's when I realized this ain't gonna work. You're gonna have to get yourself a large Ziploc bag. So right here, what you see me doing is putting them in the Ziploc bag, and once again, wiping your area down as you cook. Try and maintain proper sanitation in your area. Putting a little bit of Dawn dish liquid, and that's some body of holy smoke I'm adding. Some adobo seasoning. Use whatever seasoning your heart desire. Some oregano, and I think I used that sazon pack. I didn't use the whole pack actually. And then I took 2 or 3 heaping teaspoons of that culantro. Close the bag, got all the air out, mix. And I mixed it up really good. And I actually let these sit in the refrigerator for about 45 minutes to an hour because it was a last minute decision to make them. Otherwise, they would have sat there longer. And after you finish cleaning your meat, you see I use some kitchen antibacterial, wiping those counters off because, again, huge debate over the wash your meat and not wash your meat and, cross-contamination. You'll be fine as long as you clean your area real good. Get up in there and wipe that sink out real good. So now I'm over here at the stove adding the avocado oil to the pot. Because what I'm getting ready to do is sear the turkey necks. And because I had quite a few, so what I do is I sear them in batches because I do not like to overcrowd the pan when searing them. Got my glass dish ready, so as I sear them, I have something to put them on. So I'm gonna be looking for stuff, and I think I was just waiting for the avocado oil to get hot, and that is my oil of choice on most occasions, avocado oil, because it has a high smoke point, and I just like avocado oil. So, but again, that is preference specific. If you choose to use some other oil, go for it. I'm sure it will be, just fine. And so, I'm sitting here waiting. Got my spoon. What do you call that thing? It's where you put your utensils at so your stove isn't all nasty and stuff. I hate that. I really hate that. So I think the oil is hot. Here we go. Dropping those turkey necks into the oil so they can sear. And again, just like I said, I only do it a few at a time because I don't like the pot to be overcrowded. I was removing the turkey necks from the pot there after seeing them. That is not burned at the bottom of the pot. It's just the drippings from where they stuck to the bottom of the pot. And you will see later on that those drippings turn out to be a good thing with your broth. They contain a lot of flavor because they have a lot of the spices that were used to season the turkey neck with. So you don't need to wash your pot after that. Added some Kerrygold butter. So after I added that Kerrygold butter, I started scraping those drippings up that I was talking about at the bottom of the pot. And I started incorporating my flour. I used a little bit less than a half a cup of flour. And what I do is I keep stirring because flour will burn quickly. And I did not want it to clump. And I think I added a little bit more avocado oil here as well, which you probably did not see. And I just keep scraping and moving that flour around. And you keep doing it till you get to your desired color. So now what I'm doing is I'm adding that Holy Trinity in, because I've just about gotten my flour, which is the roux, to the desired color. So now I'm going to sweat those veggies down, and you're going to see it's going to look like there is no gravy anymore because the vegetables absorbed it. This is what I was talking about right here. It looks like it's no roux and it's just brown at the bottom because all that flour and stuff is stuck to the veggies. But that's okay. Just keep going. You just keep sweating those veggies down in that roux until they're pretty soft. The other thing that you don't see here is when they were almost done, I added the garlic. So the gravy, you would think it's gone, but it's not. It's absorbed into the Trinity. It's okay, because once I sweat these down some, and see, all of this is the flavor on the bottom of this. So once the broth, the chicken necks and not the chicken necks, Lord Jesus, the turkey necks and the broth is added back, you will see all the flavors come together. I keep stirring because I don't want it to burn. Like, see, this is just flavor. Just got to scrape that up off the bottom. But once the liquid is added, that will be taken care of. So, yeah, you just got to. And I'm not a fast cooker, as I've stated in a previous video. I don't like cooking my food really fast. I like giving the flavors and the seasonings enough time to get incorporated. I like layering my flavors. Also, shortly after this, I added about 4 cups of water. I did not use broth because of the sodium. I washed and cleaned the mess out of these turkey necks, let them soak in salt and vinegar water, then went back through them with a lime to clean them, got all that little slimy stuff off of them. I seared them. I added my Holy Trinity to the pot with a half a stick of Kerrygold butter and some olive oil. Seared that, cooked that flour down for the gravy, added it back, built my flavors, and now these babies are about to cook down for a couple hours until they're all off the bone tender.